Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Winter Season Showdowns, where you're currently watching a best of 5 between Sen and Moonglade. Before we proceed into game number 4, I urge you, if you're attending the Winter Championship event, first of all, attend the Winter Championship event. It's in Dallas, Texas. It's on March 15th. You can still book your plane tickets, I promise. They might be a little bit pricier versus if you booked it a month ago, but you can still do it, and you can save some money by purchasing your pass online right now. It's going to be 15 bucks off versus if you purchase it at the door. So definitely take advantage of that. And that being said, I think we shall proceed on into game number 4.
Let's get right to it. This is match point here. If Sen wins this, of course, he's going to take the series 3-1. Moonglade's got to win this map and the next one to take the series.
Of course, here we are into game 4. And as you said, a very important match for these two gentlemen. In the top left-hand location, we have the Blue Zerg player who is currently down 2-1. He has some work to do. He must win 2 in a row. Can he do it? He is Moonglade. His opponent in the bottom right-hand location. He's 1 win away from getting that spot at the Winter Championships in Dallas, Texas. He is from Team Gamma Bears representing Taiwan. He is Sen. And by the way, I know there are plenty of Taiwanese individuals watching and Australians watching, rooting for their two players. So definitely make your voice heard. You can tweet at us, at axeltoss, at axslav. You can make your voice heard in the chat. You can go to Team Liquid and say, go Australia or go Taiwan. I want to hear your voices. Get on Reddit, get on Team Liquid, join that conversation, and root for your favorite players, because this is a spectacular match so far, and I have a feeling it's only going to get better.
Moonglade always delivers.
Yes.
I've like almost never
so
seen a Moonglade series that's not spectacular. Like whether he wins or loses, it's always a good showing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some players who are insanely good and maybe even better than Moonglade, but when they win or lose, it's not always a great show. Moonglade always has a great show. His strategies are well thought out. He doesn't lose because of making really silly mistakes, and he generally doesn't win by hoping his opponent makes a silly mistake. So it's always something really, really well thought out. It's always a game of pure skill with this guy.
If Moonglade makes a post on Reddit, he will deliver.
This is true.
Unlike maybe who's that Zerg player? Osterg. that's an inside joke there for you Reddit users out there. Yeah, so I'm very excited to see what happens here. Of course, Moonglade opening up with a bit of a later gas than his opponent. Looks like Sen went for an earlier gas.
He's got about 70 gas later, if you measure by the amount of extra gas Sen mined, which of course is going to give Sen an earlier speed by roughly about 40 seconds or so, or maybe 30 seconds, something like that. And you know, that can play a difference, because Sen's unlikely to go for some crazy speeding all-in. So it won't play a difference as far as him going to kill his opponent. But if Sen can realize Moonglade's getting later speed, that means what Sen can do is delay his building nest and delay his spine crawler. Unfortunately for Sen, he hasn't quite figured that out yet. Of course, it's very hard to know it all because the Overlord can't get in there and scout. So his building nest is actually earlier, so it's almost not quite what he wants. But he will get in here. He will see that the speed is... Well, actually, he can only tell by looking at the gas being mined, I guess. And his Zerglings have been pushed away to the right side of the base, so they're unable to see that gas quite yet. In fact, just got... Oh, now I'm going to start right. Maybe he's getting a drone kill. Nope, not quite. That drone...
Turn it to a spine?
Yeah, and it gets scratched up a bit. Says I don't want to stay hurt.
I don't want to deal with life as an injured drone.
Yes.
I will turn myself into a spine crawler, a much more superior thing than a drone, one might say.
Yeah, it's like if you start chopping a tree down, you might as well finish it and turn it into a table. You don't want to leave it as a hurt, as a damaged tree.
That's how it is.
Exactly. It's drones and trees are fairly similar.
They are.
Be turned into more valuable objects.
Great analogy there, Mr. Axslav. Very, very nice indeed.
Both players going for the lair.
Yep.
Sen adding 3 more gases. Moonglade adding 3 more gases as well. No Evo chambers from both players, which means they're most likely going for Mutas.
A layer is like a coffee table.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, hatchery is turn
Side
into
table.
lumber, when you turn a tree into lumber,
Right.
and then you refine the lumber, construct a coffee table.
Nice. I like these analogies. Yeah, so both going for layer. Undoubtedly, probably going to be mutas from both these guys. Four gases, Slayer. No
One of the
chamber.
cool things about muteless mirror is it's actually sometimes not as much about the muteless as it is about the speeding and bait you play. Because while you're trying to, like, you make drones to on 2-base saturation, but then there's that zone when you got your 2 bases saturated, and you've got some extra minerals now, and that's what you spend on the speedlings. And the speedlings determine if one player, if none players, or if both players can get up a third base and defend it. So
it's all about the third.
It is. It's all because that's the 5th and 6th gases. We can see now both players are pretty much going to stop droning for now. Sen started his third base. Moonglade, he's got a drone on the way, about to start up his third base as well. And so now it's going to come into a game of who can defend their third.
He's up in Zerglings here, 14-1 at the moment. 2 Banelings being made.
Sen's going defensive mode with spines and banings, but that's not going to help his third hatchery.
No, it's not. And it's going to have to be canceled here. There's no way he can defend against these lings from taking that down. And there is the cancel. Even losing the drone. Baneling's coming back here from Sen, though.
Oh,
one Zergling throwing himself at the Baneling.
Oh, another one. 2 Zerglings going to take out.
Got him.
Great micro by Moonglade here. And, I mean,
momentum.
Yeah, Sen's trying to morph 2 more banings. That's not going to work. Moonglade's just going to focus those down without a problem. And Sen's is, Moonglade's just all over the map control. He's going to go deny his third base yet again.
Meanwhile, the base of his own is about 70% of the way done. Sen is going to have something to say about this, saying, all right, I'm not going to be able to get my third up in a good amount of time. I'm going to try to delay his as long as possible. But Moonglade, knowing this, is going to retreat Zerglings of his own. So I think he should be able to allow this to finish. And Sen is going to be in a bit of a bind as far as getting that third on the ground.
More and more Zerglings rallying across the map by Sen, but Moonglades are all in one place. They get the jump on Sen. Sen loses several Zerglings before the battle even joins. Great micro by Moonglade, pulling back the weakened group of Zerglings and engaging with the superior group. And again, he takes another small victory.
Yeah, and again, his third is up. Needs to get that gas right away. And of course, he needs to continue focusing on denying his opponent's third. But I don't know if that's possible anymore, considering those mutas are out. And if you ever attack across the map with mutas, you always have to be cautious of, okay, my opponent, if he's going mutas, probably going to have the defender's advantage, because rallying those mutas, they're going to come out much more quickly. And Moonglade knows about it. Overlord just died to those mutas. So
both players doing a little bit of overlord hunting, making sure that only overlords on their side of the map are the friendly overlords of their own faction. Another difference going down here, besides the little bit stronger early game by Moonglade, is the fact that Moonglade's getting muteless armor, Sen's getting muteless attack. Now, if you're trying to harass and mostly kill drones, attack is superior. But in muteless mirror situation, the armor is vastly superior, as it takes 1 damage off every single one of the muteless bounces. The attack only adds 1 damage to the first bounce, and it adds like 1/3 of a damage and 1/9 of damage to the second and third bounces. So armor is much more superior in a straight-on engagement. Once both those upgrades finish, even if they have equal numbers of muteless, Moonglade will come up ahead in the battle.
yeah, that's a great point. Of course, eventually Sen should decide to research that carapace, but you know, there's going to be a timing there from Moonglade where his mutas are going to be superior. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that and look for those mutalist versus mutalist battles. Now, I'm wondering if either player is going to try to get an infestation pit down, because like logically you want to get the fungals out and then your mutas can get a nice engagement. But again, you're going to be spending gas on infestors rather than more mutas, which I don't know if either player is likely to do that kind of a thing.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations where you build the infestation pit, you get passenger glands, that's 300 gas, you queue up 4 infestors, that's another 600 gas.
Yeah.
They have 9 more mutas than you, and if they hit you right then before your infestors pop, you could lose a base. And then if you, I mean, once it just steamrolls down. So it's tricky to do the transition. You're gonna have to build spores while you're transitioning, and then you give up map control. And players really, they like map control, man.
Sen actually added on a corruptor in there.
He did. And that's gonna, if you can get that to tank the damage, it's gonna be nice. Of course, corruptors don't do very much damage output, but they're very tough to kill. So if you can get their mutas to focus on your corruptor, it'll take a lot of the hits for you.
All right, Sen is going to be approaching this 4th base over here at the top side of the map. Going to try to get that to cancel. Might even kill it if it completes here. But nope, being very safe. Going to be backing away immediately. Also has a Zergling squad lurking on the left-hand side, so we might have some multi-prong harassment incoming from Sen.
Sen really wants to get some damage done because he knows his opponent has that 4th base now, but he's wary of having his muteless get stuck and cornered because Mutas can if both Mutas are close to each other, they can kind of stutter step forward to Mutas and pick off a couple years while you try to retreat.
All right, we have Lings running into the third base. Mutas running into the fourth. Lings versus Ling happening here, but Sen get a back away. Meanwhile, the Muta's going to be attacking into the third. Going to be retreating, it seems, there from the blue Mutas block. Sen is going to take advantage again by sending in the slings to the natural expansion, and this is just going to keep happening. Sen is just going to try to dip and dodge and try to take Moonglade off guard.
Oh, the Zerg's getting a natural, doing good damage. Again, trying to hit the fourth with the Mutas, but Moonglade is defending well at the fourth. Finally trying to reestablish his defense at his natural. Some drones went down, and I think Sen's fairly happy with the way that went, but Moonglade's got to be happy too because his fourth is still up and running.
Yeah, fourth is still up. Units loss is in Moonglade's favor by about 1,200. Income tab is 59 to 51 in favor of Moonglade. And yes, his fourth base is already done. Gas already mining. Meanwhile, Sen's fourth base is just now beginning. So Moonglade is going to have that supply advantage, 181 to 151. He has the income advantage as well, especially when gas is concerned. And both these players still adding on nothing but Mutas. We're at 34 to 42 Mutas in favor of Moonglade. Oh my god.
One thing that's very important to note though is Moonglade, he stopped upgrading. He only has one Carapace.
Oh.
Sen has continued his upgrading throughout this game. He's got one attack, he's got one Carapace, and he's working on a second Carapace. So just now Moonglade's going to try to catch up on upgrades, but he's already behind by a full upgrade.
I wonder if it's worth adding a second Spire.
I mean,
Like,
as long
like,
as you
would you
keep
rather use that
continuing
gas?
with your
Yeah.
first, you should be able to get the
Sure.
you know.
Well, at this point,
yeah.
like maybe you're like, oh man, I forgot.
Yeah. Going to be a little bit of a base race situation here.
Yeah, Moonglade going to be attacking into his opponent's fourth base. Meanwhile, Sen attacking into his opponent's third. We see Moonglade retreating as fast as possible to essentially deal with this, and now Muta's going to be attacking into the natural. Moonglade targeting down the hatchery. Transfuse going down, but Moonglade definitely caught off guard here, trying to retreat. But if he can catch all these Mutas, that could be huge. He's going to try to engage Muta versus Muta. I'm going to try to commentate this, but honestly, you see it on your screen there. They're attacking each other as fast as they can, and Moonglade's going to sweep up Sen. No problem whatsoever. Who cares about upgrades?
It's just a matter of math. I mean,
yeah.
The upgrades maybe make your Mutas a little bit more effective, but Moonglade had so many more than his opponent. He got him cornered. Sen was playing, kind of loose and fast in this all game, trying to be on the offensive, trying to do damage. Moonglade finally pinned him down, caught him, and punished him for his, I guess you could say, his bravery in crossing the map, his audaciousness.
Yeah, he's going to try again. The Mutas, and there's a Corruptor mixed in here, but Moonglade up 167 to 85 supply. He's going to have way too much. And Moonglade is going to take game number 4, which means we're tied 2-2.
Wow, 2-2, two Zerg Titans clashing here. Both big fan favorites.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to Game 5. I mean, Game 4 was beautiful. Moonglade there was just a better early game usage of the speedlings. Set himself up ahead with the faster third, which in turn gave more minerals to get the faster fourth.
Yep.
And all of it combined meant a lot more Mutas, and you know what? More Mutas beats less Mutas.
The fourth never actually finished there. And then also Sen was trying to go into Infestors. His Infestation Pit was completed, but was unable to ever get any of those on the field. So Moonglade making those Mutas, was loving them, and he was able to convert himself a victory in game number 4. He's going to tie up the series 2-2, which means coming up next, it is game 5 between Moonglade and Sen. The winner goes to Dallas. Stay tuned.